Hi everyone, it's Colette with Transbydef, coming at you with this week's topic, which is a couple good questions. So let's go ahead and get into it. The questions are what steps did you use in your transition, and what can you do when your transition stalls? Well, um, the steps that I used in my transition were very straightforward. I followed the website tsroadmap.com, which was created by Andrea James. I used a lot of her resources on there. I used her timetable, which you create at the beginning of your transition to kind of help guide you through like different steps that you wanted to go through. But for me, the first thing that I did was like try to come to terms with the fact that I had certain feelings. And so I just started doing a lot of reading and research. I read like Kate Bornstein's book, Gender Outlaw. I read the Christine Jorgensen personal biography. I read, what's the other one? Alicia Brevard's The Woman I Was Born Not to Be. And I also read Invisible Man by Jamison Green. So I have a long stack of books that I read. Oh, yeah, Donna Rose's Something Blue. That's an amazing book. So I was reading a lot, and the next step for me was therapy. And I was lucky because my boyfriend was extremely supportive and helped kind of point me in directions. So I sought out a therapist, and the therapist that I saw actually wasn't licensed yet. She was working on her hours. She was in school, but was she had someone she worked with that was well versed in transgender people. That if I came to the point where I wanted to do hormones, she would refer me to him, and he would evaluate me and all that good stuff. So I went to her for about a year, and it was really awesome because I was able to kind of let go of the guilt and shame that I felt. And then I decided that the next step for me would be hormones. And at this time, I was also watching a lot of YouTube channels. I watched like Megan's Life. That was one that I still watch, and I think she makes videos like once a year. But I saw how successful she was, and so for me, it helped motivate me to really like uncover stuff inside myself. So that led me to getting hormones, and I went to like Planned Parenthood because they offered the service, and I was really low income at the time, so it was very helpful. And like hormones, from there, actually, when I started hormones, it's when I started to do. Oops, sorry, my screen went black. Hold, please. Okay, sorry. So I started to do a timeline, and I started to kind of map out like my next steps, and I started to do electrolysis. I decided like that's when I started thinking if I wanted to pursue surgery. And I mean, that's why therapy was awesome, because I could kind of like talk about that stuff openly and not kind of feel weird. And that's honestly like literally what helped me not stall too much in my transition. And it was because I knew that it was going to be a long process, so I didn't have this idea that, oh, at the beginning I thought, oh, that would be cool, like if I was on hormones for a year and then I came out and lived full time. But I knew realistically that wasn't going to happen, because just the logistics of life, job, family, relationships. I mean, and I wasn't mentally ready. I mean, I really feel that you need to be confident and just know that this is the time for you. And for me, I didn't feel that yet. So I just took my time. And halfway through my transition, I really wasn't following my timeline, and I was kind of floundering. I felt distracted. And that's when I started to get really depressed. And that pushed me to go back to a timeline. So, what I really recommend is if you feel like your transition is in a stalled situation, really develop a timeline. I think I've said this before, and I know I say it a lot on my own personal channel. It's, I believe, without a doubt, it's the one thing that's got me to where I am now. It's been a long road. I mean, it's been like 6 years, but it was awesome because it helped me save money. It helped me reevaluate like my budget to like be able to afford to have surgeries. Um, because and it also like helped me get like a new job that would be a safe place for me to come out at. And I just really like made it so like it was a flexible schedule. Like, okay, so this is the time when I plan to do this. And it could just be far fetched and estimated. Like on my plan, I had SRS not happening for like 10 years and all that stuff. But it was cool because all of a sudden it's like I started getting stuff done. Like I came out to my family, I came out to friends. Um, all that stuff was checking off, and then I decided to go ahead and do the name change and come out at work. I had facial feminization surgery, everything I had a schedule, and it's been a lifesaver because it keeps me on track. And what I did is I wrote it out, and I always carried it with me. So I still have it with me now in my purse. And when I have like a moment or when I go through my calendar, I pull it out and I look at it. And if it's a few months old, then what I do is I sit down and write a new one and I toss the old one. And so I always made it a point to keep it in the back of my mind. And for a while there, I like looked at it every single day. And if I started to feel like distracted again in my transition, I started to like watch trans movies, or I reread like Donna Rose's book and stuff like that. And so that really helped keep guiding me. And YouTube as well. Like I started doing vlogging, and that honestly, I tried it a few times, but then this last time that I did it again, like it really kept me on track. So YouTube is also another way to document, because if you try to like motivate yourself to make like at least a weekly upload or join a collab channel like Transbydef, it helps you. It helps propel you, and doesn't allow you to stall. But you know, everyone will transition in their own way. Some people, if you watch Jenna's video, she went like a different direction, but we all get to the same point eventually. For me, I stuck to a timeline, I stuck to a plan, and it really, really helped me. And I think it can help you too, because you can just take a look of where you are in your life right now, and you're like, how do I get to the point that I want to be at realistically? Does that mean I need to relocate, move somewhere else? Does that mean I need to change jobs? I want to have surgeries. Maybe should I look at moving to a state or doing the Affordable Care Act, and they might cover it? Like looking at all your options, um, and then sketching out a little timeline for yourself, and you'll be surprised what will happen. So that's my take on this week's topic. I hope it was useful. If you have any comments, of course, leave them below, or any questions, and hopefully you can hear me on this new camera thing. But you guys take care, and I will check in with you next week. Bye.